When Nick Dunlap won, much attention was made to the fact that, well, it hadn't been out for over 3 decades, and the last guy was Phil Mickelson. And it's understandable because, A, it was Phil Mickelson, and 2, because of the amount of time. But what people didn't realize is that the amateur that did it before Phil was our guest today in Scott Verplank. And Scott Verplank, when he did it, was the first to do it for 31 years. There's a lot of crossed lines there between he and Nick Dunlap. So I guess the first question I'd have for you, Scott, is did you feel that when you saw what he was doing and heard about what he was doing? Did it bring back some emotions and some memories?
Oh, absolutely. He is obviously is a very talented young man. Great success, winning the junior amateur and the U.S. amateur. So he obviously has some mental game, which is really what it takes in match play. So I think that served him very well with how he handled himself there in Palm Springs. I was so happy for him. I was like, come on, kid, pull this thing off, because I know you can do it. And I know there's kids in college right now that they have the physical game, but it's kind of, are they quite there yet mentally or confidence wise? And man, he hung in there so well and saw an opening there at the end and took advantage of it. And I couldn't be happier for him.
Now, distinctively different than you, from when you won the U.S. Amateur that you're flexing behind you as we speak, you win on the PGA Tour, you win the NCAA individual title. You pretty much, as an amateur, I would say, save for the Northeast Amateur, if memory serves me, you won pretty much everything else that you could possibly win out there. And you won the U.S. Amateur, and then on tour during a time where the echo of the voice of Jack Nicklaus was still saying that his 2 amateur titles he considered majors, in a nod, of course, to Bob Jones, his hero. So I'm curious, how and why did you decide, after winning on the PGA Tour, that you were not going to turn professional?
Well, Matt, that was, almost 40 years ago. I'd made a commitment. Go back even further. Become a type 1 diabetic at age 9. So my life got more structured, more kind of committed to a schedule. And that's kind of how I grew up. So by the time I went to college, I was kind of committed to the schedule of, making good grades, being part of the team, working my butt off to get better at golf. And I put the 3 years into it up to that point, and everything was on schedule. And I wanted to go back for my senior year of college, to be honest with you. I was having a ball. Kind of felt like, hey, why wouldn't you go back as the, winner on the PGA Tour and enjoy your last year of college? So, and I really wanted us to win another team title. So the money was not the same. I think now that you really have no choice. So I think Nick Dunlap is doing the right thing.
What advice would you give him in terms of even expectation after having won on tour as an amateur, to allow yourself to breathe and to play your best golf without the weight of expecting that every time you tee it up, you're going to be in contention to win?
Well, I would say that's obviously going to be a part of the equation, Matt. But I think, he's got like JT and a couple other Alabama guys, plus their coach, Jay Sewell, has done a nice job. The Alabama golf family will support him wholeheartedly. But he's actually, the way I look at it now, is in a great spot that, he didn't wake up on January 1 of this year thinking he was going to be exempt on the PGA Tour. He was preparing his year of playing for Alabama, playing in the Masters, playing in the U.S. Open as an amateur, maybe the British Open, doing all these cool things that you get to do after you win a U.S. Amateur. And then all of a sudden this happens and the whole world changed. So, I thought about it a little bit, and I'm like, yeah, he should probably – he's going to get great advice. He doesn't need it from me. But he should probably take advantage of these select events. What do they call them? Elevated events. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, the signature events, elevated events, whatever. They change every day what they want to call them, kind of like everything else has been going on. But yeah, he should take advantage of these short field, no cut, big money tournaments. maybe add a couple other tournaments, and then enjoy all the major stuff that he got in from winning the U.S. Amateur, and kind of ease into it. That's what I would tell him, just because you weren't necessarily geared up to go right, full blast, all in PGA Tour, go play them all. Just learn along the way. I loved what he said. He came out there to Palm Springs to learn. That's basically what I did when I won the Western Open. I was there just to learn, try to play my best golf and see how good it was compared to the best in the world. So he went out there, learned a lot, learned that he's good enough to not only compete but win. So, if he stays healthy, it looks to me like he's going to play a lot of great golf for a lot of years. So hopefully he'll just take it slow and enjoy what he's got, and just try to be prepared to play every time he plays. And that is kind of the key. That's what makes like Jack Nicklaus and Tiger Woods and amongst that level of players so good. They were prepared to play every single time they teed it up, particularly in a major. So Nick Dunlap, that's what he needs to be shooting for, not shooting for playing every event and going wild. So we'll see. I know he's got great advice coming his way, so I'm looking forward to watching him play.